train to the Plastic Underground. Approaching the station, please stand away from the platform edge. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Plastic Underground. Will and I have been rewatching Dragon Ball, and in the most recent few episodes, Bulma has her microband watch that she can shrink. And Will said, hey, that's a good idea, you should make that. So recently, not that long ago, I made the Dragon Radar from Dragon Ball. So in today's video, I'm making another thing that Bulma invented, and that is the microband. Okay, so this is a fairly straightforward, simple thing. So I'm using some 2mm What the foam because I wanted it to be, you know, kind of rigid, kind of durable for the band. Then for the actual like watch face, I'm just using some 10mm HD foam, and I don't have any patterns or anything for this. This is basically just a strip of foam and a rectangle of thicker foam. So yeah, that's all I did. So I just go ahead and glue these two together. I use contact cement. This contact cement you brush onto both sides, let it dry, and speed it up with a little bit of air like that, like I do because I'm impatient. And then you stick them together and they're a pretty permanent bond. So I decided to glue the watch face right on top of the strap instead of like on the side of the strap. I just figured that would give me a better hold. So now you can put all the 3 buttons on. So I'm just cutting out some rectangles out of the same what the foam, and then I'm just gonna glue those on to the side. You can see I'm using my phone. I have a picture there, and just to make sure I am putting these in the right place. And then there's that little tiny sliver to the left of the big buttons. I don't know if that's like an indicator light or something, but I'm just adding that on as a piece of foam. So I use my Dremel just to kind of round off the corners of that watch face, make it not square, just to kind of give it a nice little bevel. And then I can mark on here exactly where the face is going to sit on the band so that I can put my Velcro on there. But first I have this little piece of this little foam like rod type thing that I made out of air clay a long time ago. I have like a box of scraps and stuff. So I just kind of cut a little sliver of that off and I glue that on the side of the watch to be like the little dial. So here is the Velcro that I am using. So just line it up and I cut it to size. And cut 2 strips out of that. This is a roll of Velcro that has one side is the soft side and one side is the spiky side. So you don't have to have like 2 separate pieces. You just flip one over. And it works out pretty good for the most part. So I'll go ahead and glue that on there. So the first thing I tried is to use a couple magnets, and that went like horribly wrong. Like it just did not work the way I wanted it to work. So then I switched over to some Velcro. So here I'm using my soldering iron and my metal straight edge, and I'm just kind of going through and just kind of burning in some grooves in this band all the way to the end. This kind of gives it that segmented look. And make sure you have like a fan or your windows open, because that is really toxic when you're melting foam. So now I'm just going to seal the foam, and I'm using some FX sealer, or primer, I think they call it primer, yeah. And yeah, I picked this up because I've been curious about it, and it works really good. I put 3 coats on, and it worked pretty good. I've said in a previous video, like when I first used this stuff, it smells to me exactly like Mod Podge. So I kind of think it's like mostly Mod Podge, and it kind of works the same as Mod Podge. It might be a little thicker, maybe put less coats than you do of Mod Podge, but I like it. It's fine. It was worth trying, and I'll be using it for small stuff especially. So now I can just go ahead and I can start putting some paint on. So I put some dark blue on the top switch, some light blue on the side switch. And even though that button is red, I wanted to give it a uniform red coat. I paint all the colors first onto the watch face. So when I paint it with black later, I can get close to the buttons and not worry about keeping it like getting any like over paint on stuff. I paint the band this pink color. That was the nicest thing about this project, is I just was able to use a paint that was already pre-mixed, and I didn't have to make any like custom colors, which was it's always a time saver. And if you make any mistakes, you can easily just use the same color to fix it. So yeah, it was really nice. This is the first project I've done since I had my paint rack, since I built my paint rack in a previous video. And I gotta tell you, it's really nice having your paints all organized in one thing. You can just kind of pull out 4 or 5 colors, use them, and then put them back. And yeah, it works out very, very well. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. Then I go through with some black, and I just paint these right up to the buttons, and I make sure everything is coated. The dial there on the side, that also gets painted that same pink as the band. So I just did that with the band when I was painting it. So, with a push of a button, you can shrink. There you go. That's how I made the micro band from Dragon Ball. It actually works, so that's pretty cool. So, better get out of here because these guys don't look too happy.